Good morning, everybody. It's a nice chilly morning here at Homestead Horsemanship. I just loaded Bernadette, but then also we're gonna take Boots and we're gonna go to the veterinarian in Rolla. We're gonna hopefully get her teeth dentistry done, Boots' dentistry done, and then today's the day for poor little Thomas and for Prince to get gelded. We've got too many stallions around. Prince doesn't need to be a stallion. We have his dad still, so we've got the factory, so he's going to make a really good gelding. Thomas is going to be Isaac's pet for the next 50 years. Isaac says he wants to keep him until he's 50 years old. So we're going to go get them all taken care of and get some, you know, physicals done. Maybe get a Coggins on Boots. Whole bunch of stuff today. So I've already talked to the vet about the gelding process. When I had Junior gelded, we didn't film it because I said when we do this one, we'll film it and really show you guys and teach you guys about the gelding. Unfortunately, YouTube has some squeamish rules about showing blood or showing anything. So to see the full content, you may have to go to our Patreon page where we're allowed to post things like that. But we will teach you what we can and show you what we can today. Okay, Boots.
Here's Mr. Boots. Oh boy. That was one lesson you said?
One lesson yesterday.
He's been in the trailer a couple other times, but yeah, that was pretty good, huh?
Come on. Dad's a good boy. Shut the door, bud.
Good boy, buddy.
Here you go, he's back to you.
What?
Yeah, that's pretty smooth. Okay, Isaac has the halter. He's been leading pretty good. Isaac led him all the way to the barn and all around yesterday.
Okay.
Okay, let's see how he does.
He's going to be.
Oh, good job,
Oh,
Thomas.
yeah, look at that.
Wow, Isaac, you got it.
Good boy, buddy.
I didn't know you knew how to lead.
He's so cute.
Oh, wait.
Thomas led down to the trailer really well, but he did not want to go into the tack room, which is where we decided was the safest place for him. He's quite a bit smaller than the horses, and we just didn't want him to get trampled in the back. But poor little guy, he did not want to get in there. He was pretty scared. It's his own personal space. He's riding in the tack room because we didn't want to put him in with all the horses that haven't been around him. We made it to the vet. Thomas is pretty scared. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You're okay. You're okay, babe. Yeah.
Is that stressful?
Yeah.
Good boy.
Okay, we got Thomas here, and then Prince is in here already tied up. Hi, buddy. Hello. Look at this pretty boy, everyone. Hi. You're dirty today, but you are pretty. Yes, you are. You little guy, though. The vet's not out here yet. We're just kind of waiting on the vet, getting everybody situated. There's Boots. Hey, buddy. Okay, we got everybody in here. Here's Bernadette. So we have 4 horses, well, 3 horses and 1 donkey, Thomas, with us. But we'll be doing both of the gelding procedures first, so that way while Thomas and Prince are waking up, recovering just a little bit, we'll do the dental work on Boots and Bernadette. We decided to have Prince go first, and before beginning any of the procedure, Dr. Berger does a quick overall health check on Prince, looking at his teeth, checking his heart, listening to his lungs, all that stuff, and double checking that both Prince's testicles had dropped, which Prince was not very happy about, and he did not want to stand for, which I don't really blame him.
Oh, that so? I thought he would outgrow his tininess, but he hasn't.
Nope.
No.
He's little.
It'd be a good size for a smaller person or a kiddo.
Mind, I'll let you hold his head up pretty please. Thank you.
So Dr. Berger is administering the anesthesia, which can take a couple minutes to take effect depending on the horse.
All right. Yeah. Got it okay. There you go. Then that tucks underneath the halter real easy there.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Rub it up done.
Enough to get.
Yeah.
Do you like doing them this young, or do you like what do you recommend?
It kind of varies to a degree. Depends on the situation. So if you've got a horse that you're worried they're going to be real too light boned to be usable, that kind of a thing, then leave them intact longer. If you want a horse to be a little lighter built and taller, then geld them younger. Is what seems, at least that's what I've perceived. It's definitely easier on them when you're doing it when they're younger than if you wait until they're older.
Yeah. Definitely easier not to get oops babies too.
Well, yeah, that does make a difference for some silly reason. All right, Betty. That's got you pretty clean. Let's get your lidocaine.
So this is like painkiller?
This is a local anesthetic, so that when we wake up, everything's kind of numb. It improves, it improves pain management. So it improves pain management, so these guys are more comfortable when they wake up.
Well, Junior, the one you did for me a couple weeks ago, he did real well with the gelding.
Good.
He only swelled up 2 days, and that was probably because I put him in a stall for a little bit that day.
Sure. Yeah, you're nice and good. Okay, so what we'll end up doing is, and one, there's a little bit of shadow there, but once we make the incision, we'll kind of roll him up on his back a little bit.
Okay.
Works pretty easy by grabbing the hock.
Yeah, I'll do
and
that.
we'll roll him up on his back a little bit, just makes accessibility a little easier. For your people's knowledge, there's kind of 2 different approaches to this. There's a closed procedure and an open procedure. My intent is to do the closed procedure where I don't open all of the tissues that surround the testicle. We just open enough so that we can get it out. Sometimes you end up having to adjust that, but the upside about a closed procedure is, by definition, you're not opening the peritoneum of the abdomen, and so that improves your safety margin from an infection standpoint.
Right.
All right, we're ready to roll this guy up on his back.
So we're unable to show the whole procedure here on Patreon due to restrictions, but you can head over to our Patreon. We have the whole thing up over there if you care to watch it.
Like to? No, it's just fine. Just fine like this.
I think it's terrible. Very awkward.
Show you so the whole concept of a horse getting proud cut is when you leave this part behind, epididymis, and so you can see long way away from that.
That's that little
the
structure.
squealer, what they call it, the squealer.
Yeah, that
Yep.
structure right there.
If you leave that behind, that's a proud cut horse.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
weird.
we know he's definitely not proud cut. All right, very good. No bleeding of any significance, and thank you very much. And we'll find a spot that doesn't have as many blood vessels in it. There we go. And you can see the bruising where we gave the intratesticular lidocaine. Thank you. Oop. Don't step on his tail. Concept, this is called a Henderson castrating tool, and basically like a hemostat on steroids. concept is we're twisting the spermatic cord so much that it can't bleed. So makes it, again, the squealer's way out there. The idea behind that is then if they don't bleed very much, then they heal better. And as you can see, I mean, down inside, there's just basically no bleeding at all, which is perfect. Okay, we can let him back down. I'm gonna rinse him off and then we'll, because it's warm enough, flies can come out.
Yep.
So we're gonna put a little fly spray on him. What's really handy, because if flies are bothering him, they always swat their tail.
Yeah.
So I spray it in their tail.
Yeah.
And let them apply it. All right, we'll go ahead and get his leg down. And then we'll give him his Eastern, Western, and tetanus vaccines. All right, buddy, your abuse is over.
Does this anesthesia get a reversal, or does he just wake up eventually?
We let them wake up naturally. The problem why, the reason why I don't tend to do that is if we reverse this, they're likely to wake up rough. They'll have poor coordination, and you may see a horsey that tries to get up too early, and then because they don't have very good coordination, they're ataxic, they're bouncing off the walls, they can't maintain their balance, they're falling, and we don't like that. So I like them to wake up nice and slow and relaxed. There you go. That's why we'll leave that towel over his eyes. The less external stimulation he gets, the more likely he is to lay there nice and peacefully, and then he wakes up. Yeah.
So while Prince was in recovery, it's now Thomas's turn. The vet did an examination on Thomas, making sure he was sound and healthy before taking him in for his procedure. Thomas was also put under general anesthesia. However, he did not respond to it quite as easily as Prince did. It took a little bit more than Dr. Berger was expecting. And it was a kind of tough getting the needle in him. Donkeys have very tough skin, so I'm sure it didn't feel very good to poor little Thomas, but eventually Dr. Berger got it done.
Holy mammoth.
He's fuzzy. Yes, you are. You're definitely fuzzy.
So I told Isaac's going to get a haircut today too, probably. And I said, well, you should take your donkey in with you and see if you can get two.
They might charge a little more for him. You got quite the do there, buddy.
Well, he's fighting that anesthesia good.
They do.
Thomas took quite a bit longer to go down than Prince did. Apparently, donkeys are very stubborn and don't react to anesthesia quite as well as horses do. Dr. Berger even had a second form of anesthesia set up just in case he would need it as a backup for Thomas.
I guess just because the anesthesia doesn't work as well on the donkeys?
Donkeys are harder to anesthetize, as you all actually just kind of witnessed.
Yeah.
I had to give him quite a bit. More than you think. Okay. We'll go ahead and roll him just a little bit more. That's pretty good right there.
This is my first donkey castration I've been a part of, so I've not seen this yet.
So we really wish Dr. Berger was able to explain a bit more what was going on, what he was doing. But obviously he needed to focus on the job at hand. A donkey gelding procedure, we have found out, is a little bit more complicated and higher risk than a horse gelding. That is why you will notice that Dr. Berger is doing the procedure a little bit different. So with Prince, he used that drill, which is called the Henderson technique. Donkeys have a higher blood supply going to their testicles compared to a horse, so bleeding out post-surgery is much higher risk for a donkey. And because of that higher risk, most donkey castrations will make sure that a ligature, a secure suture, is placed around the blood vessel to reduce the risk of bleeding and intestinal prolapse through the surgical incision. Therefore, the Henderson technique is not usually used for a donkey.
That's called a circumferential. And then we'll do what's called a transfixing. So of that, we go through and through.
And this is because the drill, these cords are more brittle, so you can't use the drill to clinch them off like on a horse.
Right. It likes to break prematurely, and then you have trouble.
So Thomas is not very old. He's only 6 months old, so he's still a baby. So doing this procedure, it seems like, it's a little bit too soon. But for donkeys, it is just much harder on them in general. The longer you wait, the harder it's going to be on them. So we wanted to get it done as soon as possible so that Thomas could heal very quickly and have the easiest recovery possible.
So this is a similar procedure to how we castrate dogs. Similar concepts. One of the biggest differences is in a dog. I'm gonna go ahead and put the clamp on here. In a puppy dog, we suture the incision closed, and that's contraindicated in horses because it will get infected if I suture the skin closed.
It needs to drain, right?
Yep, has to drain. Otherwise, we will regret it.
I'm glad we got this done today because I think the way it's going, I think he's going to have the least amount of trauma and stuff. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going pretty well, really.
Once Thomas was down, the procedure took about 10 minutes, so it went pretty quick. Again, we do have a more in-depth video of the procedure over on our Patreon if you want to check it out.
That's it. Make sure that's open enough for drainage.
Yummy.
And good to go here. So, little itty bitty skin bleeder. All right, we can let his leg down.
During Thomas's procedure, Prince started waking up.
In the process, I used my life strap. So on the way back to town,
He's up.
so there's I got a front end problem.
Prince was standing up strong on his first attempt, and there wasn't any significant bleeding going on. Of course, we're still watching him, but we're very glad about that. He's looking good. So while the boys are in recovery, Dr. Berger moved right on to dental work with Boots and Bernadette. They're both needing their wolf teeth pulled and just an overall check, probably a float to make sure there's no sharp edges.
This is the wolf tooth.
Oh, I see it.
Kind of like needle teeth in pigs.
Can I stick the camera?
Right there.
There's a bitty tooth there.
That's it?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep. And they have a really short little root. And that short little root wiggles. So when the bit bumps it, it hurts.
Yep. So, but what's cool about horses is they naturally have that whole area between the incisors and the molars that doesn't have any teeth, and I think it's intelligent design.
He made them that way.
He made them that way so we could ride them and have a bit in their mouth.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow.
So there you can see the sharp points towards the cheek, and not a lot next to the tongue, but a little bit.
And the sharp points are on the outside, right? Like
the sharp points on the upper arcade are on the outside or towards the cheek, and on the lower arcade are towards the tongue.
Yeah.
Because the reason why is the upper arcade, the maxillary, is wider than the lower arcade, the lower jaw. So because one's wider than the other, when they wear, they get an angle to them. And so there's parts that don't touch. The outside of the uppers don't touch another tooth, and the inside of the lowers don't touch another tooth. And because horses' teeth continuously grow, they grind each other. And because those areas don't touch, they overgrow. And that's what we're gonna fix. Yep. All right, little buddy. So, yeah, talk about the intelligent design. One of my professors in vet school, gastroenterologist, he said that the horse was God's favorite animal. And the reason he knew that was if you look at the GI tract, then you look at how their musculoskeletal system works. If the horse wasn't God's favorite species. They would be extinct.
So before pulling the wolf teeth on Boots, Dr. Berger did float his teeth, making sure to knock off any sharp edges. And if you're wondering, Boots has been given a sedation. It's usually just a general practice when doing dental work. It helps the horse relax and remain still for the procedure, which is crucial for a full examination and treatment.
Show what that tool is, real quick.
So basically, it's a sharp-edged punch, for lack of a better term. It kind of looks like a leather punch on steroids. Because I can get right around the tooth, I'm less likely to slip off and hurt other places in the mouth. Oh, okay. So like the other tool, that periosteal elevator, as you like to call it, the chisel, it's only a quarter to a third moon. Well, as you're pushing, you could slip off of the tooth and you can injure other parts inside the mouth. So when I can use this particular tool, I prefer it. It's just from a safety thing.
Yeah. And that, oh wow, that was easy.
A whole lot easier than that other one. Yeah. So,
Wow.
There you go. See how the root is so short.
Yeah.
These are little. I've seen
Yeah, so
teeth that are
this part is the root from here up, and that's the tooth, the part that looks dirty. Very small. I probably don't have to give him a break. I can keep driving him, huh?
Whoa.
There we go. That one had a little bit longer root than the other.
Yep.
Yep. Very good.
Cool.
What?
See, look at those itty bitty ones. See them?
Oh my gosh, those are the littlest ones I've ever
They're
seen.
teeny weeny. So you brought me the biggest and the tiniest.
Yeah, and they were these two guys.
But
Boy,
this
look
is
at
what I was
the
feeling on
points,
Steve's
the
fight.
ramps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good size. So she needs it.
That is
The other
crazy.
thing is that's usually anatomical. So if we look down below, see how it's worn on the front? Mm-hmm. So her lower arcade starts a little bit further back. And of course, she's still young, has a lot of baby teeth. But this may be something that's a problem for her lifelong because anatomy, if they don't match up right, there's nothing to wear on this upper, then that's always going to regrow. Mm-hmm. So she may be one of those horses that has to be done every 6 months.
Yeah.
It's braces.
So we'll see how it goes as she grows in adult teeth. But she may be a horse that needs it more frequently than others.
Yeah.
So we'll resolve that.
So same process with Bernadette as Boots. Dr. Berger floated her teeth before pulling the wolf teeth. You'll see at times Dr. Berger is holding the tongue of the horse out of the way. And it's pretty much just the same as if you went to the dentist. Sometimes your tongue, it wants to like get in the way of the work and the tools. And you have more self-control though than the horse does. So Dr. Berger makes sure he's safely keeping that tongue pulled out of the way.
Got to use the parrot ostrich elevator to.
You're really, really close.
Yeah.
So close.
I've heard that one before. So here's how tiny this one is.
Yeah, that is a little bitty sucker. It gets wide really quick though after the.
Well, a
part
lot of
that's
that's
exposed.
gingiva. That's all gingiva stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because, the tool can only get so small.
Cool. Popped out easy.
Yeah, but it is wider down at the base. It was going to get bigger.
Yep.
So you can see how wide the root is down at the bottom. So.
Very osteal.
Periosteal. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's how I passed all my tests in school. Mnemonic devices. The teacher will even give you half credit. Like if you can't remember what the mnemonic device was supposed to periosteal, and you get that close, parrot ostrich, they'd probably give you 50% credit on it.
So there's the other tiny little thing. Mm-hmm. All right. We need to check this kiddo's front teeth. I did not. No, I'd leave that alone.
Yep.
Very good. There you go.
After all the procedures, everybody was very tired, very groggy and out of it, which is understandable. They just needed some extra time to wake up. So we decided to go run some errands for about an hour and leave them in the vet's care. And little Thomas, he was trying to wake up. He just couldn't quite do it. He was moving a little bit and he'd lick here and there, but he just wasn't quite ready. He just needed a little bit more time. Hi, buddy. How is he?
Seemed very happy to see us.
Go home. Hi. Hi, buddy. Okay, we're gonna get everybody loaded up and head home. They're all grumpy and tired and out of it.
Come on, Tommy.
Come on, bud.
Good boy.
Okay, here is Thomas, and he has made a full recovery, haven't you, bud? He's doing really well. He never did have a ton of swelling, just a little bit the first couple days. There was no bleeding, just very minimal. And it's been, well, heck, it's been over a month now, and he's just healed up really good. The first couple days, he did kind of have some, well, I guess, not really fits, but he was in pain the first couple days. Like he kept laying down and rolling, so I did give him some pain medicine, and that really helped and popped him right out of it. And since then he has just been 100%. He's doing really good. Most of you know our little Prince has gone off to his new home, and he was recovering pretty well from his gelding too. I think it was a little harder on him. He had a bit more swelling than Prince did, but overall he's gonna be fine. Handled it good. The gelding procedure is not a fun one for these boys, and it takes a while for them to recover. It's pretty hard on them. Some handle it quite a bit better than others. It just depends. They just take some extra TLC and just watching them over time, and within a few weeks they're all healed up and doing good though. Oh, you gonna come say hi? No? Gonna get more hay. And then, of course, Bernadette and Boots are both doing good, too. It just takes a couple days for them to recover from getting their wolf teeth pulled or doing any dental work. That's not too invasive. Both Bernadette and Boots, since this day, have both been under saddle for the first time. Both are doing really good. Boots has really come along in his training jars, working very hard with him. Bernadette is getting a lesson here and there, so hers is a little bit slower. And right here, Boots is taking a break out in the pasture with his buddy Lakota, getting some playtime in. They really love to play and have some fun. And again, don't forget to check out our Patreon, especially if you want to see behind the scenes stuff that we can't show here on YouTube. We pretty much try to do daily uploads over there, sometimes multiple times a day, just whatever's going on. If there's something really exciting going on, we try to do a lot. So we have a lot of fun over there. It's a great community, and it's a good way to stay on top of everything that is going on. So check out Homestead Horsemanship on Patreon. Patreon is a great way to support the channel, but if you're not interested in that, we also have links to our Amazon wish list, our PayPal, and also our farm store for feed and bedding that you can check out. Those are always in the description of the videos. Another great way to support our channel or any channel that you're watching is by subscribing, giving a thumbs up, commenting, and sharing. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and following along with our horses' stories here at Homestead Horsemanship. God bless you all.